We're back.
We're back. No more M&Ms. We had a launch director to interview, but she disappeared. So, can I have one too?
Mine has balloons on them.
How
It's
exciting.
wonderful, and I'm really excited for this.
Mine says solar eclipse on it.
It's a delightful
It's very exciting. Hopefully Noah didn't poison those. He seems like the type. He's from Maine.
He's from Maine. I was about to say
We don't really know much about people from Maine. Maybe they poison you with M&Ms. He just walks away.
Feels a little suspicious, Noah.
That's a little sus. He said, oops. Oops, didn't mean to poison you. So at this point in time, our payloads are probably finishing up their testing and stuff, finishing being tied onto the flight line. Batteries are being plugged in. Payloads are not being turned on. We're not ready for that. Ainsley's going to leave us to do ground station.
I'm being productive in doing my job.
We love it when the freshmen do what they're told.
I have been told that I'm a minion until I am a junior.
That is not correct. She is a human paperweight until she is a junior.
That's even better. I prefer the term henchman, but I don't think anyone's adopted that so far, so I guess, yeah, it's not really up to me.
I mean, a henchman kind of implies evil. Do you have... Minion implies... I feel minion implies innocence, maybe. Some level of innocence. Henchman feels like association. So do you have an evil goal? Are you going to pop the balloons?
I would never pop the balloons. I could if I wanted to, but I would not because I love the BPP program.
I have just been alerted that we have an alum on the live stream. Hi, Nick. Hello, Nick Nair. We know you're watching. Boo. Okay.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Ainsley is going to do ground station things like because she is good at her job. Shout out to Nick Nair, who is on our live stream right now. Very exciting. Ainsley, your mother commented again.
Oh, great.
She said, posted it on my Facebook feed, trying to grow your following, lost the feed.
Don't do that, Mom.
Well, welcome everyone to our launch right now. Do we... Yeah, we have Nick Nair online. Apparently. If you are just tuning in with us, we are at NS-118. This is a launch that we are doing. We are doing a double balloon launch, which means we have two balloons that are launching separately. They are not connected by the flight line or anything. We are doing this launch in order to train and prepare several student teams from universities in the Southeast who have come to Maryland to learn with us how to launch balloons. So the focus today is really training them, having their payloads fly for the first time, making sure that their payloads are working how we want them to. And as always, the goal of our launch is to have some fun. My name is Maddie Lebetkin. I am an aerospace engineer. I just graduated from the University of Maryland. I have been in the balloon payload program since my freshman year. And I am sitting in a lawn chair because that is one of our traditions here at BPP, is that once you are a senior and it is your last launch, you sit in a lawn chair and it's to represent or signify that you've passed on all your knowledge, you've trained your successors. And for some reason, when I sat down in this lawn chair, they gave me a microphone as well. So I am here to entertain you guys if anyone has any questions about what is going on at this launch today, any comments, anything like that, I have been doing my best to keep an eye on the chat. I currently am not looking at it, but I will soon. And hopefully you guys have some fun questions for us. Here it is. Howdy. Oh, hello, Nick Nair and Shalesh. We are super happy to see our fabulous alumni on our live stream. We have Shalesh now as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So shout out to Nick Nair, shout out to Shalesh. I'm sure John is there too, because when are Shalesh and John ever separated? Maybe Jess as well. Either way, we're thinking of you guys. For our alumni who are on the call, this is my lawn chair launch. Can you believe it? So it's very sad. For some reason, they've handed me a microphone, but I don't know why I keep saying for some reason when you guys fully know that is because I never stopped talking in the first place. So I would have been saying all of this whether or not I had a microphone in my hand or not. As you can see behind us, we have two balloons that are, one of them is fully inflated, and I believe that they are just finishing up inflating the last one. That was Dr. Bowden, who just walked by, but she does not want to be interviewed. And this is Chaitanya over here on my right, who is doing Chaitanya things. Media, he is the camera guy. He is the one who is the genius behind the live streams, I guess. Helping solve all the technical difficulties that I'm causing. Yeah, and if you see behind me that we have a bunch of people kind of crowded around in different groups, it is mostly people who are either working on their payloads that are flying today, or if they are in an orange vest, they are on Team Tie-On, so they are helping those teams actually tie the payloads on in a secure manner to the flight line so that everything is safe when it goes up in the air, because we don't want the FAA to be mad at us. Just off screen over here, we have Jeremy sitting on our ground station and having that set up. Ainsley, who was with us earlier, is also working on that. What else is going on that I can tell you guys? Maybe if you were here early enough, you saw me running around with the parachute. That is, in fact, our method of detangling it. We have had several different people from several different schools. That was Shipman, who just walked by, one of our launch directors for the day. We have had several different people from several different schools come by and interview with us today, talk about their payloads, talk about how excited they are, if this is their first balloon launch or not, and just anything, and if they have an existing program at their school, what they've been doing at that school, and how they are liking what we're doing and what they're learning and what we're learning from them. So I think most recently we spoke to a student from the University of Alabama Huntsville team. Earlier we spoke to our Northern Florida folks who are representing 3 schools here. We had our West Virginia University people here, and we had someone from Virginia Tech say hello. And also from, I believe it was St. Francis, which is a school in Pennsylvania. There goes Shipman again, walking away. He is one of our launch directors for the day. There goes Meredith. She is one of our tie-on people for today, as you can tell by she is wearing an orange high visibility vest. What else can I tell you guys? We are launching out of Hampstead, Maryland right now. We are at Hampstead Elementary School. If you guys have any questions, I am looking at the chat. So feel free, huh? That is the camera. It's such a little camera, isn't it? Would you like to say hello to we are back down to 13 viewers. However, 2 of them are Shalesh and Nick.
Hi, Slash and Nick.
And my mom.
I'm Maddie's mom. All right, I'm going to go off and do a flight check. So we're going to go check all the knots. Make sure they're right.
Nice.
Good luck.
They are doing a flight check of all of the knots, which means they're making sure that all of the knots that the payloads are tied on with are secure, which is one of the final things that tie-on does, and it's usually not done until inflation is pretty much over, so that is a good sign for us. And someone is yelling. Who's yelling? I have tried several times. to be involved in this launch, and they keep forcing me back into this lawn chair and telling me that I've graduated, which is all true, but they must clip my wings. Hi, Noah. Talking about how they clipped my wings by forcing me into the lawn chair.
Please come and get your payload ready for launch. We're looking at about 15 minutes until launch.
So the launch director just made a announcement to the team that we are about 15 minutes out from the launch. They are now going through and doing a final payload check of every single payload that has been tied on and is intending on launching. And that is not only to double check that all of the payloads are tied on correctly, but also that they are functioning in the manner in which they should. We do have 2 payload lines here today that are not connected. Since this is a double launch, the 2 balloons will be launching separately and not being physically connected by one payload line as it would be in a tandem launch. Both balloons have their own venting systems. One is made by the University of Maryland team, and it is called Gould. And then we also have a venting system from University of Montana State University. Each is placed in the neck of each balloon. And the goal of these venting systems is to let out what I would say is a strategic amount of helium throughout the flight, such that the balloon would be neutrally buoyant at a certain altitude. We can also accomplish this with tandem balloon launches, as I've discussed in the past. However, that often requires double the amount of helium, double the amount of balloons, and double the amount of personnel than a single balloon venting system would. Because it is a much more complex operation. Venting systems in single balloons really only started in our program, I would say, within the past year. Prior to that, we really focused on perfecting tandem balloon launches and a tandem float, which is quite a difficult process, especially with the limited equipment that we have had in the program. There goes shipment again. Tandem balloon launches started maybe a launch or 2 before my own first launch when I was a freshman. We worked on them for a very long time. I did not go on my first balloon launch personally until after the pandemic had already started. I was very fortunate to get in on a very small launch, honestly, because someone else canceled. And because of that, I was able to start learning about tandem balloon launches and learning how to inflate at a much earlier time than many other people who joined from my class. I was very involved in helping the program return to its original numbers. We definitely saw some dwindling numbers as a result of the pandemic, as it was very hard to do hands-on hardware, technical work while you are stuck in quarantine and in isolation. But it has been, I keep dropping my phone. Or a radio. But, it has been truly a pleasure to see the program return to its original numbers that it was when I originally joined the program. And to see everyone get so excited about ballooning again. And I think everyone is very excited for the upcoming eclipses that are going to be happening next academic year. So there's going to be one in October and another one in April. The one in October is only going to be a partial solar eclipse. That is the first campaign of the eclipse project that the balloon payload program and all these other teams that are visiting us are going to take part in. I believe that they are discussing driving to somewhere in Texas, probably near San Antonio or Odessa, Texas, and launching from there, as well as in April, when the total eclipse happens, they will be going to Ohio for that. As of now, what's happening behind me is I can see that they are starting to request people who are floating or not necessarily doing anything go over and inside to the inside the tarps and help keep the white tarps or the balloon launch tubes off of the inflated balloons. We really want to have as little interaction with the plastic and the Velcro, the sewn Velcro on the tarps interacting with the balloon fabric as possible, because it is a very fragile material that can very easily rip. That's why before we even lay out the balloons in the beginning and start inflating, we sweep all the debris off of the tarp in the first place. But you probably can't see from here, but we have I would guess is maybe like 4 or 5 people inside of each of these balloons right now. There is, if you are seeing people running around behind me, very nervous and very stressed, it is because they have every right to be, as we are getting closer to launch. The balloons, as the wind picks up and as we get closer to having to take the balloons out of these tarps, it is going to become more difficult to actually control the balloons, make sure that the gusts aren't affecting them. We don't want them to hit the ground, hit each other, hit a person. Raise your hand if you've ever been personally victimized by a balloon. Oh, I didn't realize you were there. I have been personally victimized by a balloon. You have been. We have all been smacked to the ground by a balloon. So one of the goals of today is to not do that to anyone.
Yes.
Oh, and we're about to pull it out. All right, so
We're going to see how it goes. It has not always gone flawlessly. This is still a relatively new design. It might rip a little bit, but we've been plucking away and repairing it. Well, Chitanya has, mostly. But he's done a great job.
and it's a big maneuver. There are, you probably can't see from just the angle of this camera how many people are truly inside of that tarp right now, which is at least 4. And then on the other side of it, you probably can't see either, but there's at least another 5 people standing right outside of the opening of the tarp, discussing the procedures of how the person who is going to be holding the neck of the balloon is going to walk it outside as they are releasing the tarp itself. As Shipman mentioned, this is a fairly new design that we've only had success with 1 or 2 times with, but that's also the only times we've ever tested it. So good so far.
Yeah.
Our main BLT people are actually currently, or were studying abroad this past semester. So hopefully now that they are going to be back in Maryland, we will have some more, they will do some more iterations on this design. But yeah, so Shipman, do you want to, what is going on here? We're about to take the balloon out. What's the plan?
The plan is to hopefully use it as it was designed to be used, and just pull on those straps that you might be able to see. And so then it'll hopefully just nicely open up as a taco, and we can just pull the balloon out, get some nice measurements. That's the idea.
And are you guys releasing them at the same time from both tarps, or one at a time?
No, just one at a time. We're going to do two sequential releases, so as to not overcomplicate things too much.
And so is the plan to release them both from the tarps and then release one, or release one from the tarp and then release a balloon and then release the other from the tarp and then release that balloon?
Oh. New camera?
New camera.
I hope I look better.
You do look better.
Okay. I believe we're going to do definitely one release at a time, and then in terms of having them both out, I think we might have them both out. Battery's what, 9 volt? Or is it a LiPo? Oh, okay. Yes. To be seen. Depends on how badly the wind starts kicking up. Can't keep these freshmen under control. Well, they're not freshmen anymore, but...
I know, I keep calling them freshmen and they always correct me now. You finish your freshman year and what? Suddenly you're a person? Come on, it doesn't work like that. You are still human paperweights.
Yes.
Come
All
on.
of us are just mass.
You gotta do the time.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to go pull these things out.
All right. Good luck. If you need any assistance, I can abandon this microphone and help out.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Do you need assistance?
No, I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
Hopefully you can just keep explaining.
I'll keep explaining things.
If it goes wrong, it'll be interesting at least.
It's not going to go wrong.
It's not going to go wrong.
It's going to be great.
Every time.
Yeah. And I say that, and then the wind picks up. So it's going to be fine. It's going to be great. Take a look. We are about to start releasing the balloon over here, right on my left. As you can see, I don't know how much you can see, but JJ is pulling the tether that we have up the top. That is the Velcro tether. Pulling that tether off, you can see the balloon emerging. There it is.
You can see all of it now.
Mm-hmm. So that balloon just came out of that tarp. That was a very flawless procedure. It is a very difficult procedure to do this because we really don't want the balloon interacting with anything sharp, anything that could rip the material. And in addition to that, there's already quite a large amount of stress that is on the neck of the balloon where that venting system is. As you can see, we have two people who are by the neck of the balloon right now that are holding onto it. That is where there's a lot of stress. We do have a venting system that is currently placed inside of the neck of the balloon. That does cause a significant amount of stress as well. So when we are releasing the balloon from BLT, we really want to avoid any bouncing from the balloon, any bobbing up and down that the balloon is going to